What do you find some of the similarities between One Piece and Jane Austen's writings?
Well, that's a good question. I would say they're both really character driven. They're character driven plots, stories. Pride and Prejudice wouldn't be Pride and Prejudice without Darcy and Liz, right? And One Piece wouldn't be One Piece without Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, all these really great characters in it.
Do you think Darcy and Zoro would get along if they were to hang out and go on an adventure?
No. Given both of their personalities, I think they would probably ignore each other. Like, Darcy, especially at the beginning of the book, was not a really sociable guy. And then he worked hard to be more so towards the end of the book. But Zoro really also isn't that talkative, that sociable kind of a person. Honestly, I think if they were in the same room together, they probably wouldn't even look at each other.
From all of the characters in Pride and Prejudice and those characters in One Piece, which two do you think would get along the best?
Gosh, that's a good question. I think Liz Bennet, she's quite witty. She's quite funny and she is quite sociable. I think she would probably get along with maybe Robin, intellectually. They both enjoy reading. They're both adventurous. And then the other one that comes to mind, Mrs. Bennet and her more social ladder climbing, scheming, kind of excitable kind of energy. Maybe someone like Nami or Usopp.
Usopp, I can see, yeah. And Nami, too. What would Jane Austen think about One Piece?
Well, first, of course, she would be shocked by a multitude of things, I think. From the difference of when she was alive and the animation and TV and film, all the stuff we have now. But if we're looking beyond that, if she was oriented to this world, let's say, this new world that we live in, I think she would appreciate it. She's got a great sense of humor. She loves storytelling. She loves great characters, and she loves, in some cases, kind of these exaggerated characters, really funny characters. I don't know if she would be an adventure person or not. I've not studied that deep into her personal life, but I think she would appreciate the good storytelling when she sees it.
How would Luffy do, you think, if he was in one of those balls by himself?
Oh God. Does he have his powers?
Yeah, he has his devil fruit power.
How do I think he would do?
He's gear, what gear is he now? Gear 5?
Yeah.
If he was gear 5, yeah, he was that Luffy.
Honestly, I think he would probably eat everything, like any refreshment, food, everything at the whole place he would probably eat. And he might enjoy the music, he might enjoy dancing, but I'm pretty sure everybody in the whole hall would be staring at him in utter horror of just every lack of social grace that he has, pronounced even more so in a time and place where there's very strict rules for how we engage each other, right? So I definitely think he would stand out, perhaps even more so than he does in his own world.
How do you think Sanji and Liz would do together?
Lizzie Bennet and Sanji? Gosh. Well, obviously he'd be head over heels for her, but although Liz can sometimes get deceived by men, Mr. Wickham is a great example of that, I do think she kind of has a pretty sharp wit, and I think she'd be able to tell pretty quickly that he was a bit of a ridiculous person, if not, a good person, not malicious, but I think she would probably try to excuse herself from that kind of a conversation.
Do you think Liz's mother would appreciate
my
Sanji?
Gosh. When you said if there's only two people that would get along in those two universes, Mrs. Bennet and Sanji, oh my gosh. If just his paying attention, the way he pays attention so lavishly, so exaggeratedly to any of her daughters or all of her daughters, she would be enthralled, and he would definitely be in danger of her trying to arrange some kind of a proposal or something like that.
Like Big Mama.
Oh, yeah.
And Big Mama and Mrs. Bennet might get along.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, she would be head over heels with Sanji. I will say, depending like how much moolah, how much money is he coming in with.
Well, he is a prince.
But just to get one of her daughters married, that would make her day. He is a prince, you're right. He is a prince. Wow, yeah, that would seal the deal perhaps.
What do you think Liz would think about Chopper?
I think she'd like him. He's so out of this world. I think it would definitely be hard to grasp. But he's a sincere, sweet character. He's a very almost like Georgiana character, the sweet, naive, sincere. So I think she'd probably think he was cute.
So are you for a crossover between One Piece and Pride and Prejudice?
Maybe a crossover, like one episode. That'd be hilarious. Just to see all the stuff happening. And even, oh man, I didn't even think of Lydia. Lydia would be probably attached to Sanji at the hip. Yeah. He might have to pry her off, honestly.
What's the other? Mary? Is this another sister?
Yeah, Mary.
She might she and Nico might get along. Nico Robin, but also she might like Zoro. Who knows?
I don't know.
Or Brooke.
Mary is quite, well, yes, she does have great aspirations for music. She does. But she is also quite moral. She tries to expound moral teachings quite a lot. So Mary's kind of pretty straight-laced for a pirate group. Lydia would have no issue, I think, hanging out with a pirate group as long as the guys were cute.
Maybe Mary and what's the Marine's name? I forget.
Cody?
Yeah, Kobe.
Oh, Kobe. She might get along better. The crossover nobody expected and almost nobody wants except for me.
Well, do you think Liz has awakened her hockey?
Well, let me tell you, if she can bend a will like Mr. Darcy's to her own, then I would say yes, 100%.
Okay, so if you could give Liz any devil fruit power, those that are already existent in the One Piece universe, what devil fruit power would you give Liz?
Oh gosh, I don't know. That's a great question. I don't know. Maybe she doesn't need one. She's sitting pretty at a big estate.
Well, maybe she's
rich husband.
She's just a hockey person, no devil fruit.
Yeah, she's got more hockey vibes. I know Lydia. Now Lydia would definitely want
the Mera
Boa Hancock's.
Mera fruit. Isn't that what it's called?
Yeah. That would be... if that happened, the world would crumble, I believe.
Liz, maybe if you had to give, or what she might want, maybe something like what Law has.
She'd something a little bit more intellectual type thing, and she's a smart cookie. Yeah.
Well, that's great. That's great. Last question. If this could be a triple crossover, what third party would you like? And it can be anything from anime to movie to...
What third party? I'm trying to think of something out of pocket. I don't know. I feel like the chaos is already peak chaos with those mixings.
How about Simpsons?
Oh, it'd be funny if it was all in Simpsons style animation.
With the Simpson family.
With the Simpsons. Yeah, that would be a good one.
That's kind of, American family style, and then we have Victorian, and then we have this out of the world pirate crew.
Right.
I'd watch that.
I would watch it just to see what happens. What are they gonna even do? How are they gonna even make this happen?
Well, make it happen, Monica. Write a fan fiction.
Well, in some ways, I already have. My book I just finished, in some ways, is combination. It's because I was inspired by both Jane Austen and One Piece. It's got the, beautiful philosophical questions and exploration that you might find in Pride and Prejudice.
And One Piece.
And One Piece. But also coupled with the joy and humor and... adventure. Also, these deep character changes of heart, changes of mind. So I was really inspired by both. So in a way, I kind of did birth my own
and you did,
combination.
You did create a ball as an event in your book as a nod to Jane Austen and that Victorian era.
That's true. That's true. Yes, there is a ball scene as a nod to Jane Austen, as well as quite a few scenes which nod to One Piece. So yeah, I guess I did make my own
Fan fiction.
fan fiction of it both.
Yep.